on the 21st September 2013. Yeah, for those who are good with dates, that was the day of the Westgate Mall attack. Yeah, Westgate in Westlands, where Al-Shabaab operatives rained havoc at that shopping mall with heavy casualties. And indeed this tragedy touched many other parts of the world apart from Kenya. Trapped inside the Westgate Mall was a man called Nuruddin Haji, who at the time worked for the National Intelligence Service. Nuruddin Haji placed a call to his brother Abdul Haji, who is a current senator, who is trained on how to use a firearm, and how to protect oneself while using the same. He had not only rescued his brother Nuruddin, but he had also rescued a lot of other people, including women and children, during this particular terror attack. I believe you can see photographs of that drama flashing across your screens right now. But let us dig a little deeper into this Westgate manenos, because I believe they'll help us understand this man called Nuruddin Haji and where he's coming from. The father of Nuruddin Haji, the late Yusuf Haji, had been the defense minister of the country called Kenya up to March that same year. That our Kenyan intelligence service had already known, was aware that there was a planned attack, and they even had possible targets, and the Westgate was one of them. The Kenyan government and intelligence service knew for months that there was something cooking, that the Al-Shabaab were due to attack at any time. And therefore Mzee Yusuf Haji definitely had that information. It is possible that Nuruddin himself may not have had that information, but it is highly unlikely. Possible, but highly unlikely, because he was already working at a very senior position within the National Intelligence Service. And to make matters even more interesting, we are told that prior to that attack, Nuruddin Haji had already received several death threats. Westgate attack is still a terror attack on Kenyan soil that is shrouded in deep mystery. Indeed, the international community has blamed Kenya for years for their reluctance to investigate, to get to the bottom of what really happened at Westgate. So there's that big question mark. Bottom line, Nuruddin Haji was trapped somehow in a place where he was not supposed to be, based on the information that his father already had and information he himself may have had. Let's just leave it at that. With about 3 years left to serve in his term as Director of Public Prosecutions, the Constitution does not allow his term to be extended beyond that. With just those 3 years left, now Nuruddin Haji is suddenly back at the National Intelligence Services, but at the most senior position in that organization. If Parliament approves, he will now be the boss. And remember what I've just said. President Ruto appoints with the topmost item on his list to consider that appointment being loyalty. Loyalty to him. What does this tell us? It tells us that Ruto and Nuruddin Haji must have been working together for a very long time. It reveals one of the major strengths of William Ruto, which I'll reveal in this video Today, I suggest you sit down. Ruto's biggest strength, which has enabled him to reach where he has reached today, which enabled him to outfox President Uhuru Kenyatta while he was in office, Raila Odinga, and the system, as we call it in Kenya. That strength of Ruto is having allies and friends everywhere, and especially in places where nobody can ever guess that those people are for him, or that those people are working with him. And the case of Nuruddin Haji is a perfect example. With that information, we now know how it was possible that Uhuru Kenyatta, the President of the Republic of Kenya at that time, was completely kept in the dark as to what was happening right under his nose in the run-up to that general election. We now have the explanation. The explanation is Ruto had his people hidden in key positions, very powerful positions, everywhere. And that's how he pulled it off. Now, there's something worth emphasizing here, so that we all understand. You can go and read and do your research about what the National Intelligence Service Director General is supposed to do, what the spy chief is supposed to do in the country called Kenya, and you can do a very thorough job, but you will be wasting your time. There's no way Nuruddin Haji would have been nominated for this position. There is absolutely no way, unless Nuruddin Haji has been loyal to the wishes of President Ruto for a very long time, from even before he rose to the presidency. Haji has returned to the NIS because he was there previously holding the position as head of organized crime. That's what we're being told. That is what is in all the news outlets. However, looking back at my records, previous videos I've done, previous research I've done, there is a problem. Because in the past, it was widely known, at least the people who were paying attention knew, that Bwana Nuruddin Haji did not head the organized crime unit. No, he headed the economic crimes unit. Now, there's a slight difference between those two, because organized crime ends up committing some economic crime, but there's a difference. You see, economic crimes in Kenya is mainly carried out by politicians. On social media, Kenyans have taken careful note of the way the Kenyan Somali community now controls very key, powerful positions in security in the country called Kenya. Kenyans have noted that and listed the people appointed to various positions, not forgetting the individual security officer who protected and facilitated William Ruto's entry into the bombers during last August's presidential elections, and indeed his safe exit from the same place.